Hey there, my name is Chris Mayhew, and I'm a former band director as well as a current graduate student here at the Hayes School of Music at Appalachian State University. And I wanted to talk to you about the 9/10 snare solo for Allstate, Part 1. So, this is a piece that I want to talk about the opening notes that are at the top of the page. It says very quickly, the opening roll should sound like a small explosion as compared to the lightness and crispness of the following eighth notes. Pay a lot of attention to the distance between your dynamics here. The more contrast you have, the better off you'll be in the musicality department with this piece. Okay? Another thing is at the roll section that's towards the bottom part of the piece, there's a lot of rolls in a row, and you're going to see them renotated, and you're going to probably think, what do I do here? They're all rolled, but then there's a new notated one. In the recording that I took, you'll notice that I give each one of those a smidge bit of breath between each roll. It's a little bit of a break. It's a bit easier on your hands, and it allows you to create a little bit more of a musical moment, right? Than trying to force a roll out that may or may not really sound like you heard it. So that breath will help clarify each of these rhythms that are within this big, long section of rolls. All right? Well, that's all I have for you. Good luck. Hey there, my name is Chris Mayhew, and I am a former band director as well as current graduate student here at the Hayes School of Music at Appalachian State University. And today we're talking about the 9/10 snare drum solo, Part 2 for Allstate. So we have two sections within this piece. We have the snare drum portion and the tambourine portion that's below. With the snare drum portion, one of the main things that I want to talk about are dynamics. They are very clearly notated, and you really want to follow those. So make sure that you have contrast between each of these sections, so that way you can create a lot of musical moments. When we get to the end of the work at measure 41, of the snare drum at least, you have 4 measures of rest. You need to count each and every bit of one of those rests, because you are going to be judged on, did you come in at the right time? So don't lollygag in this moment. Actively count. You've got to, and I said this in my classroom, you've got to play the rest. So make sure that you're counting through it. As we move on to the tambourine portion, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you need to start preparing for and start working on, right? So the first thing is talking about the different types of strokes on the tambourine. Right at the very beginning, you have fortissimo. I like to use a fist, and I'm going to use this flat part of my fist against the tambourine. That's going to create a nice big popping sound, and I would do this at the center. Anything that is piano or even at the forte, I would use what I call the bird beak. You close your fingers around, and you go to the opposite side of the tambourine to strike it, right? When I hold the tambourine, I try and get my fingers on the inside of the head and my thumb on top. That way you have very nice and firm grip on it so you can control the tambourine. The last thing is in measures, 46, 49, 53, 51, you have a shake roll. So what you're going to do with that is that you're literally going to shake the tambourine back and forth. What I like to do to start preparing students for this and practicing is hold it by your side and really slowly, full turns. And then as you start to speed up, you create that roll sound, right? At measure 48, however, you see rolls, but they're not the same type of roll. They are finger rolls. You have two ways you can do it. There's a thumb roll or finger roll. And what I do for that is I put my thumb on the back of my middle finger and I push, right? Having something tacky on the head, say some beeswax, regular wax. People have started using soy wax. And I know Grover Percussion also makes a little bit of, it's like a roll strip that comes on your tambourine. Use those things to your advantage because sometimes our skin is very slick and it doesn't like to catch the tambourine. So I have put beeswax on my tambourine to make this work. And when I'm playing this section, I also hit with the heel of my hand. That way I can get both strokes without having to stress to get that first one out of the finger roll. That's all I have for this. Good luck.